Before we get into the questions, I'd just like to say that it's a real pleasure to have you here and to be interviewing you. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
First off, what inspired your journey to go into science and to get to this point today where you are focused on making it accessible to children? You could have been a scientist in a lab or a teacher at university.
Yeah, that's a brilliant question. So it was my year 8 science teacher who inspired me to get into science. Because when he was teaching us, every lesson he'll be doing science experiments, and he passed that passion for science on to me. And yeah, that's what got me into it.
Well, that's amazing. You're famous for using unconventional language like London slang and patois, so young people can understand complex chemistry. Why is being able to communicate well important compared to just knowing science facts? And what tips can you give us as we think about that skill?
Well, science in itself, it can be quite a daunting subject, particularly because of the scientific terms that are used. A lot of them can be difficult to pronounce, difficult to spell. So that alone can turn people off. So that's why in my videos, sometimes I use some slang in there because it makes the science seem more approachable and it doesn't seem as complex. So yeah, I throw out and get rid of any unnecessary words that we don't need, and I just keep it simple and plain for people to understand. But at the same time, if there's a key term that people need to know, I make sure that I'll include that scientific key term. But anything extra that's not needed, we can just get rid of that.
Finally, in science, experiments don't always go right on the first try. Have you had any moment in the lab or your life that haven't gone to plan? How do you stay resilient instead of giving up?
Yeah, there have been a few occasions where I've been trying an experiment and it's just not working. It's like I'm just not getting the result that I want to get. And I could have tried it 5, 6, 7 times. And at that point, I could just give up and say, you know what, it's not working. Let me just leave it. But I persist. I keep going. And at the end of it, I was able to get that result because each time I failed, I realized why I failed. I looked at why I was going wrong. So the next time I did it now, I could perform better because I knew not to make those mistakes anymore. So that's why it's important to just keep going, because eventually you'll get there, because each time you fail, you're learning still.
Wow, that's a brilliant mindset. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sebastian. Pleasure talking to you.